Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this vid. Today's vid is going to be all about the Illuminati card game. So as you can see, this was a game that was invented in 1981, 1982 it came out. It's a role-playing type game where there is cabals and different cabals that are trying to take over the world basically. All sorts of corruptness going on, and please do go on to Wikipedia yourself guys and have a little look through this. Now I'm going to be looking at some of the cards that are in this game. Okay, there's been a lot of speculation over the last few years, especially regarding some of the cards, and I'm just gonna take a look at a few of the cards, talk about each individual card, and hopefully get some feedback from you guys in the comments. Now there's plenty of cards that I'm not showing here, and the reason is I don't have enough time to show all of them. There's hundreds of these cards, so I'm just going to take a few select ones that I thought were interesting and see what you think about them. Remembering always this game was invented in 1982, and like I said, please get yourselves on to Wikipedia, research this game, research all the details about it, all the other bits and bobs, and you'll also find some interesting cards regarding previous politicians, celebrities, things like that as well when you have a little look. So let's begin. First card up, the terrorist nuke. Now as you can see, this is quite clearly two buildings standing next to each other and one of them being nuked. Now I actually read online where the idea from this came from with Steve Jackson, the inventor of this game, and he said it was all to do with Russia at the time and things like that, but it's uncanny when you look at that, and you could draw parallels to something else that we all know about, can't you? Okay, next card, we're going to stay with the same kind of theme here. It's the Pentagon, and that's on fire. Interestingly, again, that was all to do with Cold War and things like that and what was going on at the time, but it's very interesting how that actually happened. Stay tuned to the end of this guys, because there is a card that Steve Jackson also put in this game which will make you have a double look at some of these that are coming out right now as well. But again, let's just go through it. Do take a look at these yourself. The next card up we're going to look at today is the NSA card. Now as you know, after 9/11 there was a lot of reforms done, there was a lot of rules put in, flying around the world, all sorts of things, and there was also surveillance going on, and it was brought on due to the attacks that happened. That was the remit for being able to do it. This card here quite clearly says no such agency, it doesn't exist, just ask them. As we all know now, that really did exist at the time. Hopefully it doesn't now. Sweeping reforms, as we've just discussed then, the exact same thing, changes, regulations coming in. Corruption, there's corruption cards in there. Market manipulation, we've all seen a bit of that I think, including with current politicians. Monopolies being owned now, we've all heard of the big three or big four or big five or big six or however many companies it is that are literally owning 80% of the world or something. I've seen a lot of podcasts on this now from some real big content creators across the world as well, so interesting that this is a card in there also. Remember, it's just a game guys, it's just a game. Subliminals, so this is a card which shows you about subliminal messages that are in various things, movies, stuff like that. Again, it's just a game guys, just a game. Quarantine, epidemic, pandemic you could say. Yes, that's right guys, this card was in there as well, and keep remembering this game was invented in 1982, so epidemic card, quarantine card is in there. That one is close in our history, having just gone through it. CDC, the Centre for Disease Control, yeah, they're in there too. Interesting cards. Remember, it's just a game. Media blitz, so there's a card in there for where the media blitzes everything. You can stop and read this card if you like, press pause, but I think we all know what that's about. Just a game guys, just a game. Black activists, yeah, you might be surprised to see that in there if you didn't see the thumbnail, but yeah, there's even a card for black activists that are in there, which is, you know, not surprising when you think about what the game's about. It's about cabals and secret groups trying to take over the world and control humans, and you know, it's just a game. just a card game. Next card is the March on Washington. Again, some of these cards you could sit there and say, oh, this would definitely happen at some point, so that's probably why he wrote it. But if you read up on it, he actually took a lot of these ideas to create this game from a book that was written in 1975. But still, I mean, these things are all happened recently. As you know, we've got the J6 trials that have been going on and the different things to do with that. So it's interesting that there's a March on Washington card in this role-playing card game. Censorship, we all know about that one. I don't think I need to say anything about that actually. And political correctness, different pronouns being used, ate the flesh of dead animals. That's right guys, there's a card for political correctness in there. Blinded by science. I think there's a lot of people that that's happened to recently as well, in various different forms. So it's interesting that that card is also in there. Remember, please do send me your comments on these. And the payoff card, there's lots of payoffs gone off around the world. Many people have made fortunes over the last few years out of the misfortune of most of us, the masses, the people. So that card, it's not really prophetic, is it? It's just what's been happening over years and years, but it's just an interesting card I thought I'd share with you. Remember, please put in the comments any cards that you've come across, and if it's the first time you've ever seen this game or ever come across it, do let me know in the comments what you think when you do have a look through the cards. Okay, next card, population reduction. Yes, that's right guys, that's also in this card game. Weather organization, so they've got machines to do that. That looks a bit chemtraily. Oh, this was only a test. Now I want to have a look at this card here, because with the recent events that we've had regarding the pandemic, epidemics, things that have been going on, I said to a lot of people, I said, you know, if this was as bad as what we thought, there'd be a lot more panicking politicians and leaders. And it was just something I said to somebody, and that's what this card literally says. So have a little pause, have a little read on there. And also, interestingly, my next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to be discussing a few things like that. So there's a little teaser for you there. Let's keep going. Next card, the Clipper chip, the chip inside you. Interesting card there for you all. Whistleblowers, we've got plenty of them around at the moment, and some of them may be true, some of them may just be some kind of controlled up, I don't know, but there's plenty of whistleblowers going on at the moment that are swaying us one way or the other, or highlighting us to things that have actually been going on. So that card's in there. It's just a card game, remember guys. Backlash, we seem to have some kind of leader or political or media guy with having tomatoes thrown at him, a backlash. So maybe that's something to come, who knows. Maybe that's something that I haven't read about yet, but yeah, that card's in there. Next card, charismatic leader. Now obviously they've got a blonde guy here, and this was in the 1980s when this was made, but there's a charismatic leader here as well. So I thought that was very interesting. There's probably going to be a few of them around the whole world. In some cases we might need a few. Hopefully they're genuine though. Next card coming up, reorganization. Now I really did not like this card. Like's the wrong word, because I don't like any of this game. It's just always interested me since I first come across it. But it's a reorganization of the power structure. Now the thing that interests me about this card is I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of people that are involved in this game, this card game. And if to someone would say, well, it could be true, it could be a true depiction of real life, then in a real life situation, when these power structures are reorganized, you're going to have a lot of people that are in those positions that are all of a sudden not going to be. They're going to be demoted, they're going to be in a different form, they're going to be in a different place. And I wonder how many of them actually think about that before they take up these roles. But yeah, there's a reorganization card there, and you know, you might see celebrities and mainstream people being reorganized right before our eyes, you know, and even they might not realize that they were going to be reorganized. But yeah, there's a reorganization card in there, and obviously this is just a game, as I said, so I'm only talking you know, just about the game and if it was to be real. Next card up, We have secret MasterCard, so everything in the world is controlled by a small evil group. Next card, the conspiracy theorist card. Now this card's quite a funny one as well, because it says that the powerless and much mocked group is prized by the Illuminati because their wild ravens often contain useful ideas. You know, it is a card game, it's the Illuminati card game, and I just wonder with this card, when this was created, how many of the ideas that I've just shown you on here and the other cards I'm not showing you that are very similar, if not the same as some events that have happened. How many were copied by somebody looking at this, or was it just pure coincidence? I mean, you know, very interesting card that. So they prize the conspiracy theorists. Next card, interesting times. Now this one did make me smile. I had a little giggle to this one. It said, things are getting so weird that not even the secret masters are sure what's going on. Unfortunately, this makes them grumpy and they tend to argue a lot, slam doors and destroy small nations. So I thought, well, that's a bit of kick at the backside to the secret masters and what they're doing and all their bad stuff in the card game, of course. And that one did make me smile. Again, send me the cards that you see that I've not seen. And an angel's feather. I thought that'd be nice to put that in. Nice little fluffy one. If you look in there, there's a few cards here that are just coming on the screen. Different strips that I've just taken screenshots of. Some that I've shown in this. But yeah, overall, very interesting card game. The Illuminati card game. So tell me, what do you think about this? Just tell me what cards you see. Tell me if you come across anything that I've not shown in here. And I just thought it was very interesting and obviously very coincidentally similar to a lot of things that have happened in our lives. Thank you so much for watching this vid. Thank you if you share it out. Thank you if you subscribe. Thank you if you like the vid. And thank you for any comments that you put. This will be available on all of the social media channels that I have. Also, I do have another vid coming up shortly, which will be discussing a bit of a controversial subject for some. Then I'm going to be focusing on the Get Chatty with Matty's and also the new positive channel that I've created, and hopefully doing some more good with that. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye.